welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. I have watched the final 2 episodes of Robocop Prime Directives, the miniseries. I've seen it called a TV series, which I guess it could be a TV miniseries. But anyway, the miniseries that was released back in 2001, I think, that is continuing the story of the original Robocop. And I reviewed the first 2 episodes 2 shows ago, and I'm going to review the final 2 episodes, 4 in total, for this Friday's show. So I watched, so let's talk about Resurrection, which is the 3rd one. I've watched 3 and 4. 4 is called Crash and Burn, but that's tomorrow. So Resurrection. Resurrection follows, as you would expect, because I think these were all shot just in one. Again, probably intended as a TV series, which would have been interesting if they'd split these up into episodes. That does somewhat make sense in the fact that these episodes feel too long on their own. So maybe chopped up, there would have been more dramatic cliffhanger moments. But in any event, Resurrection follows Meltdown, the previous episode, in which Robocable comes and helps out Robocop as he's being assaulted by OCP's Robo Hunters. Robo. You get enough Robos? And the Robo Hunters are interesting because most of them are just wielding standard weapons, which against Robocop, and now there's really 2 of them because Robocable is a fresh version of the Robocop chassis with a different person inside, you would think that they would have had more high-level weaponry similar to what Boddicker's gang was given in the movie, the big super cannons. But what I like is that there is one of those type of guns in this show, and they do demonstrate that it would be extremely hard for it to be wielded, which is something that was sort of glossed over in the movie and, just in general, when you see people with giant super guns, you don't really see what would actually be necessary to wield them. And the one guy trying to use one of these big cannons, the only one they seem to have, is not having a fun time with it. And it's not easy to use. It's something that he misses with a lot of the time, which makes sense. Unlike, stormtroopers who have laser guns that constantly miss everything. Having a giant cannon that you as one person have to... In fact, people do help him at times to try to fire yourself. It does seem like it would be awfully hard to actually hit anything with it. So there's an impracticality there. But what they do is they split up Robocop and Robocable, which I was curious because the 2 of them together, again, against conventional weaponry, seemed like they would just be unstoppable at that point. But they find a way to basically have them both be knocked out, and then 2 different groups get each of them to then build back up. And in Robocop's case, that is I think they call them what do they call them? They're not the Shadows. There's a name for the gang, whatever it is. They basically put him back together and recruit him to their kind of underground cause. And Robocable is taken by a lunatic, hyper-religious biotechnician who has engineered a doomsday virus that he wants to use to reset the planet, I think. I think he's trying to wipe out everybody, not just Detroit. And he has reprogrammed Robocable and put a pain device into him to make him work for him. And so this sets up the inevitable showdown between Robocop and Robocable for the fate of all humanity. And Robocop is, basically, there's parts, I'll talk more in detail because I could go on for quite a while and will on Friday. But we get to see Robocop drive a muscle car, sort of. I'll explain that on Friday, which is not something I expected this series to bust out, but it does. But as it's been the whole time, honestly, and I don't expect this to change in the last episode, but I'm just underlining it here, this is absolutely a for every good thing, a bad thing type of show, and it's been that way the whole time, and it's pretty clear it's going to be this way the whole way through. Is every time I see something clever, or a piece of writing that's clever, it's then let down by either a lack of budget, or the acting isn't as bad as some people make it out to be. It's not necessarily always good, but it's not that terrible. There is one bad, really, really bad Robocop scene where he's trying to emote with the helmet off. And honestly, it looks like, it looks like he sat on a cattle prod. I'm not sure how else to describe it. It's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But overall, outside of these onesie-twosie moments here and there, it really is a series that I feel like is being hampered by the fact that it didn't have enough money to get the people needed to execute it. I think there are moments of good writing. Some of the action scenes are good. They just go on for too long because it feels like they're padding out a runtime. And that type of mismatch of good and bad is the whole thing. But I'm still glad I'm watching it. There are interesting ideas. This is an interesting approach in continuing what the movie set up and where RoboCop would end up. So I'm going to stick with it till the end. So again, Resurrection, kind of same as the other ones, for every good, the bad, but still good stuff in there, and I'll tell you how the finale goes later.